Hey everyone, I'm Halise, endeavoring to persevere as always. If you're new here, I make videos about my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow, social media, all of that. So in today's video, I am going to show you how I am going to take my propagated monstera that I have been propagating for some time now and transfer it to the Laka system, or what is also known as semi-hydroponics. So this is a way to grow plants without using dirt, and I first learned about this when I was scouring YouTube looking for tips in the YouTube plant community on how to get rid of gnats. I had purchased some dirt, and apparently there were some gnat eggs, I think, that were larvae that were in the dirt and I didn't know, and planted my plant, and as soon as I brought it in, I had, within a few days I had a whole bunch of gnats, and it was the worst thing. And so I actually discovered this method of growing plants because I was looking for ways to minimize and reduce gnats in my apartment. I really think this is a great system if you are someone who lives in an apartment, you don't have access to a yard and a hose, so you can easily, transfer your dirt and do other things and play around with dirt mixtures, if you don't have a garage. I live in an apartment. I live on the 4th floor, so whenever it is time to refertilize my plants via dirt, it's a real hassle. It really is difficult. So yeah, this is why I've been leaning towards this system, and I want to eventually do all of my plants in Laka, but right now I've just converted 2 just to sort of get my feet wet on the process, and I'm gonna show y'all how to do this. But the 2 I've converted, I'll go ahead and show you real quick. One of them is this Hoya Crimson Crown named Bertoli, and I put this in Laka from dirt a little over a month ago, and it's doing really well. As you can see, it's called a Hoya Crimson Crown because they end up getting these pretty red leaves. This leaf actually came up about a week or 2 after I had transferred it to Laka, and I was like, that means it's happy, yay! How exciting! And then the other plant that I have put to Laka is Marble Nuggets, that's his name, but it is a philodendron. And this was a propagation that I had going just in a jar with some water for about a month or so. And then after I saw it really starting to take root in the jar of water, I switched it to Laka, and it hasn't put out any new leaves yet, but I'll do a close-up of the roots. Oh my goodness, it has taken off in Laka. It seems to really like it. I'm just giving him some space, letting him really get a great root system going, and then hopefully, in another couple weeks, months, I'll get a nice new leaf. So these are the 2 plants I've already put into Laka, and again today we're going to put my monstera into Laka, and I have been propagating this monstera just in this little Folgers cup. Try to use your plastic as much as you can, try to keep it out the landfill when you can, and also keeping your plastic in glass jars is really great if you're gonna try Laka out, so just keep them around. It'll be helpful, trust me. But I have been propagating this monstera for like almost 2 months. It's been a while. I got it right when we all started having to stay home and social distance. So for me, it was like March. It was around March that I got this. So we're already into June. And you can see it is very ready, very ready to be potted into something. It has completely taken off. The roots have roots, which is awesome. You love to see that. And similarly, I haven't gotten a new leaf or anything out of it yet. I think it's just focused on growing right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into our Laka system. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this into this vessel. So this is just a simple flower vase that my husband actually usually uses whenever he brings me fresh flowers. He puts them in this vase, and I politely asked him, hey, can I have that? And I have created a reservoir system for it. So by drilling a hole into this glass, it'll be ready to go for Laka. If you're not going to have your Laka done in nursery pots, like different size nursery pots, that's something that a lot of people do. They'll keep the Laka and the plant in a nursery pot and then have just a filler pots, like this Folgers cup, for example. So that way they can easily see how much water is in there and just refill as necessary. If you can't do that because you don't have a lot of nursery pots, because I don't, Then the other way you can do it is to just drill a hole in whatever vessel you're gonna use, about 1/3 of the way up. To drill this hole, I used a diamond bit. I'll put the link in the description box for you, so if you wanna buy it, you can. And I just drilled it here at home in my apartment, having just a little bit of cold water nearby because I have a little hand drill. The drill bit is not expensive. I think it's like $5-6. It's not expensive at all. And they give you multiple sizes, which is really cool, so that's nice. But this is the container I'm gonna use to plant our plant, our monstera. And then here's our Laka. Ooh. Here's our Laka. I have it soaking in water right now. It's been soaking for maybe an hour. I have seen other people say you should soak it for 24 hours. You should try to, you know, have it soaking for days and things like that. I didn't do that with either of these and they seem to be fine. I just kind of soaked it for like an hour or two. I also made sure to rinse the Laka off to get all of the sort of clay debris that isn't necessarily the balls themselves, because Laka is a man-made material. It is made from clay. These are clay pebbles, but it is a man-made material. So usually when you buy it, there is like a little bit of dust and stuff in there. So try to rinse them out until the water runs clean, and then you're good to go. The thing that I really like about this too is that once you buy Laka, you just use it. So once I decide maybe I wanna switch my plant to a bigger pot, for example, I don't have to worry about buying new Laka. I'll just take the Laka out, wash it, clean it. Maybe there's some algae on it or something like that, or some dead roots that are kind of sticking to it. Just kind of give it a good scrub, clean it off, and then just use it again. So this is really cool because it's a man-made product, but it's reusable. And once you have it, you have it. You don't have to keep buying and throwing it out and things like that, like you would with dirt. So that's another reason why I really like Laka a lot. But the last thing I'm gonna show you how to do with this video is how to create your nutrient water to help sustain your plants and help them grow. So with this monstera, since it is a new plant that I am putting into Laka, to help with that transition, I'm going to use Super Thrive in water. And this is how your plants grow. So as you can see with the Laka, you know, there's no dirt. So you're probably thinking, how is it getting its nutrients? All that kind of stuff. So you're putting the nutrients into the water itself. And it's liquid nutrients that helps the plant grow and give it everything it needs. Combining that with the aeration, it's getting good oxygen. Plants need oxygen just like we do. And then the water, it's a very controlled environment for them. So I'll use Super Thrive on this monstera to help it ease into the Laka system and help it have a better time of doing that. Although it should be fine because propagating in water and then switching to Laka, they seem to like that because it's a pretty seamless transition. So I'll use Super Thrive water and I will show you how to pH balance your water. Plants actually like their pH with water to be, I wanna say between 5 and 6. Let me double check. Let's see here. 5.5 and 6.5. I was close. Yeah, so they like their pH to be between 5.5 and 6.5. And so I'm going to show you how to pH balance your water so that way, and how to have quite a bit of it. I'll have this filled up and keep my water in here. And as I notice their reservoir go down, I'll just pour some more in. That'll be it. We'll have our pretty monstera in a nice, lovely jar, and it'll be good. So let's get into it. I went ahead and emptied out the water, most of the water, from our Laka. It is here, it is ready to go. And I have our bowl, and then I have our plant. So the first thing we're gonna do is fill this up about, okay, so I went ahead and emptied out the water, most of the water, from our Laka. It is here, it is ready to go. And I have our bowl, and then I have our plant. So the first thing we're gonna do is fill this up about halfway with Laka. And then this might take a minute. Because you want to make sure that you're letting the plant be able to grow down, right? So giving it space to grow down. That is probably good. Don't want to do too much more than that. I just really want to make sure these roots seem like they really are gonna want to drill deep, so I'm trying to make sure I give the Monstera space to do that, but I think this is pretty good. Now we're just gonna place our Monstera in. I mean, it's basically as if it were dirt, you know? And just kind of like place it nicely, gently, if you will, into the leca. Don't worry about making sure things are going down and stuff. It'll figure it out, you know? That feels good to me. I want to make sure it's more or less centered. And yeah, I think he's gonna love this. And then we're just gonna fill it all the way up to the top. And as we're filling, we're gonna make sure we're kind of shaking to get the leca to really set the plant in place. But you're not trying to like push it down. You're just shaking so the balls kind of fall into the nooks and crannies and really set. So I'm gonna give it like a little shake right now, actually. And then, yeah, it looks like actually 2 of the roots already like went down, so that's cool. And we're gonna just fill it up the rest of the way. Folgers for the win. And as you can see, as I'm going, I'm just kind of shaking it to get the pebbles to fall all the way around the plant. That looks so good. Wow, I'm really loving this. That looks so pretty. That's the other thing I really like about leca. Like, even I really enjoy having the vessels be clear because it's like it adds a depth, a texture, just seeing the balls. I think so. I mean, if you've got pretty planters, then cool. But I do love that you can see them, you know. And again, one good final shake to really make sure everything's kind of in place. And that looks great. I think this looks really good. I can feel that most of the balls are in, like I can tell that they're in, and that looks good. Now we're gonna set this aside. Be very careful. We're gonna set this aside. Oh my gosh, can we take a minute though? Close up. That's so pretty. I love that. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at this thing. Oh, and I can already see, I'll pull it up for you. You can see our roots peeking out. Our roots are peeking out a little bit, which is cute. Saying hello, little peekaboo roots. So that's nice. So we're gonna set this aside. Sorry, I just like had a moment because I'm so happy I found this little guy just on the Riverwalk, crazy. So we're going to now prep our water, our nutrient water. So since this is a propagated plant, we're gonna start off with Super Thrive to make sure that it can transition very easily to the leca. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with water. This container is just a half-gallon jug that was originally used for vinegar, I think white rice vinegar, and I just saved it after we finished using it and deemed it the nutrient water vessel, if you will, for my now growing leca plant collection. And so I'm gonna step off camera and fill this up with water, and then I'm gonna show you how to pH balance your water so you can give this guy the love he needs.